the pension scheme. You were among the advocates of the new pension scheme originally, that we cannot go along with an old pension scheme where I get 50% of my last drawn income. Your government moved to change it. The present government brings it. The moment you went into the opposition, Mr. Chidambaram, you opposed it. Now what do we have? A unified pension scheme. Again, you seem to be opposing it, though most people believe it's a useful amendment. Is it in politics that where you stand depends on where you sit? When you're sitting in the opposition, you say one thing. When you're sitting in government, you say one thing. That's the problem in India at the moment.
I've counted 5 factual errors in your statement. First, the new pension scheme was introduced by Mr. Vajpayee's government, not by our government, number one. And number two, Vajpayee's government maintained the new pension scheme. We maintained the new pension scheme. And Mr. Modi maintained the new pension scheme for 10 years each. Altogether, for about 22 years, we maintained the new pension scheme. So don't attribute the new pension scheme only to the Congress party, number one.
No, you did not oppose it.
Just a moment. I maintained the new pension scheme. Why would I maintain the new pension scheme if I did not support it? We supported the new pension scheme because the underlying argument of the new pension scheme is an unfunded pension scheme is a fiscal disaster. I still believe that. Unfunded pension scheme is a disaster. Now, unfortunately, the government employees associations are stoutly opposed to that. And yes, political parties have adopted different positions in different states and state elections because the state governments have to necessarily, willy-nilly follow the central government. Eventually, they will have to follow. But then, when Mr. Somanathan came to the Finance Committee, I asked him, listen, a committee has been appointed under you. Are you supporting an unfunded pension scheme? He said, no, sir. I support a funded pension scheme, but we have to find a middle way between NPS and OPS. I said, good luck. As long as you don't dilute the principle that it is a funded pension scheme, I have no objection if you are tweaking the new pension scheme. That's my position.
No, that's your position. It's not your
party. That's my party's position.
No, sir. You're being, if I may, sir, you said I had 5 factual errors. I may point out you're being disingenuous.
Show me where the party...
Your party goes state after state and says we will bring back the old pension scheme.
Show
From
me...
Himachal Pradesh to Telangana, you go back. In Rajasthan, old pension scheme. You come on this program and say, sir, unified pension scheme. I support it. It's a middle way. Please tell that to Rahul Gandhi and your...
words in my mouth. You're putting words in my mouth. I'm sorry to interrupt you.
Sir.
This is a manifesto for the national government. If a state government is wealthy enough, has the funding, has the money, resources to start a different pension scheme, let it do it. I'm talking about the national government, the central government. I'm only talking about the central government. You are mixing up state government and central government.
I'll tell you why, sir. Because your own state governments, Himachal, a good example, is struggling now with its finances. If you go with the old pension scheme in Congress-ruled states, they will suffer, and you know this better than anyone else, possible economic consequences.
I am not talking about a state government's promises, a state government's finances. I am only concerned about, I was only concerned, and I'm talking only about the central government. What the state government does is, it does according to its resources and according to its people's wishes and according to its legislature. I am talking about the central government. In the central government, as long as it's a funded pension scheme, you call it APCS or BPS or CPS, you can call it whatever pension scheme. You can call it a Rajdeep pension scheme, as long as it's a funded pension scheme.
Okay, so you're telling me you support the UPS as it stands today?
I support a funded pension scheme.
Okay, that's a departure from what many others in your party say, but I want to understand this.
Where has my party said anything contrary to what I'm saying? National party. CWC. Where is it?
Very
said?
interesting. You're making a distinction between the national party and the state party,
Well,
sir.
the
But
state governments can follow their own policy.
okay, sir.